Peace, y'all. It's your boy Free Play, and I'm back with another story time video. This story time video topic comes from a subscriber. Will Ivy, he asks, how can I get started selling beats? And I'm going to answer this question in 3 parts. I'm going to first answer from the perspective of how I got started selling beats, why I don't sell beats anymore, how I buy beats when I do purchase them, and how other artists in the industry, major artists, have told me that they look for beats. So I think that this question was very interesting and important because it gives us the opportunity to understand how the industry works and how the subject goes when it comes to trying to sell your beats or trying to get into the game as a producer that wants to sell beats. So I'm not going to answer it in any specific order, but those are the main topics that I'm going to cover. First and foremost, I have sold beats. I have worked on projects. I'm going to include a Spotify playlist in the description of this video, going over some of the projects that I have worked in, either as an engineer, as a producer, or sometimes I've worked as just a songwriter. You know, not all the time I've worked in either or capacity. You know, it all depends on the relationship that I have with that artist and how they asked me to be a part of their project. So that's kind of my first point. Most of the work that I've gotten, 99% or 100% of it, has come from the relationships that I have built, either with the artist or the artist's manager or a label. So that's the main way that I've been able to work with any artist, and also with studio owners. As you guys know from one of my first Storytime videos, I'm an audio engineer. So that has been the way that I've been able to work with a lot of major industry artists. But for the most part, when I have sold a beat or worked on a project as a producer, it has been through personal relationships that I've had with inspiring artists. And I think this is one of the best ways to start selling beats, is to lock in with somebody that you know that takes their career serious. So, you know, a lot of people will tell you, I think if you watch, you know, like Producer Grind and other very popular channels like that, where they interview other producers, they tell you that one of the best ways is to lock in with an artist and build a relationship with them from the ground up, or get them at the early stages of their career. And I think this is the best way to sell beats, because you don't have to sell beats. All you have to do is have the artist lock in with you and really like your production style. And then as they grow, you will grow along with them. And you could see this in a lot of examples, like, you know, people like Boy Wonder, for example. He grew with Drake in the beginning of his career. Obviously, now trying to get a placement with Drake might not be the easiest thing, but if you caught him when nobody knew who he was, you could build with him. You know, I even know other artists that I've worked with in the capacity as an engineer. For example, if you guys are into the newer era of rap and hip hop, there's an artist called Calvo, and he's locked in with his producer OT. They've been working a lot together because I feel like they locked in and they have a great friendship and relationship outside of production, that they just been able to lock in and make a lot of music. You know, it's the same thing when I've worked on previous projects with other artists as a songwriter. For example, when I was doing Latin albums, I was locked in with my best friend and we were writing songs together. You know, so when you get in at the early stages of an artist's career and you have an organic relationship that's not based on ulterior motive, or interest, then you could build for the long run. And basically this person's success and your success are intertwined, and it shows that you really actually believe in their art and that you're in it for the long run. You know, so I think this is one of the best ways to start selling beats, because eventually what could happen is that this artist or this band, whatever the case may be, could lock in with a label or with an investor, and they're gonna eventually have to credit the producer, they're gonna have to credit the producer, aka give you royalties and publishing, and that's gonna obviously, you know, be taken care of if you're on the production side of things. So you don't even have to sell the beat. You don't have to ask this artist for money unless they have a budget allocated towards that. You could just, you know, let them know that when they get their deal, you're gonna get your rightful amount, which in most cases is 50% for the producer, 50% for the songwriter, if you're the sole person working on the beat or instrumental, if you will. So I think that's one of the best ways, is to just lock in with somebody that they take their stuff serious, they know that you take your music serious, your styles align, and then you're able to lock in with them so that when they get their deal, the label's gonna take care of you, or the artist is gonna take care of you because they want you, and you become an integral part of their sound, right? The second way to start selling beats is one of the ways that I purchase beats, which is through BeatStars. I'm not affiliated with them, or this is not sponsored by them, but I have bought beats for my projects or my mixtapes through this website, right? And the way that I found them is gonna tie into the last way, which is YouTube, right? So a lot of artists, when they come to the studio, as an engineer, I could vouch for this, they go on YouTube to find a beat that they wanna write to, they wanna rap to, or record to. So I found beats the same way. And even I think J. Cole mentioned, I think it came out like about a year ago or some time ago, that he did something similar where he just found a beat, a J. Cole type beat on YouTube, and then went and bought it on BeatStars most likely. So that's one of the ways to start selling beats, is that you create either a type beat channel, or name it whatever your style of production is, and then you're gonna use the technique that a lot of other channels, I'm not gonna discuss it in depth here, but a lot of other channels discuss, where you funnel your traffic through your YouTube, leading them to your BeatStars, where they could then purchase the beat. And a lot of times, you advertise them as free, for non-profit use, right? But if the artist is gonna release it, AKA a signed artist or an artist with a budget that's gonna put it on streaming DSPs, if they fall in love with the recording of what they did to your beat, they're gonna eventually come back to your BeatStars and pay for it. And that has happened to me, as well as with other artists. So in the story time, I'll talk about a conversation that I had with a major label artist. But I could say that that's a very, very common way that people, or producers rather, make a lot of money, is on BeatStars. I haven't had success with it. For a short time, I was trying BeatStars, or I tried to sell beats that way, but it wasn't for me. And the reason why is because I consider myself more of an artist and a producer, and I like to work on projects that have a lot of meaning to me. I'm not normally putting out singles, although I have, but I like to work on like complete ideas, like on a film, on a book, kind of like the way that somebody works in a long format. That's the way that I prefer to work. And I felt like when I was trying to do like a type beat channel, or try to do this whole strategy, to sell beats, I felt like I was working again, like I was in a rat race. Like I was trying to make as many beats a day as I can, so that I could hit the algorithm and my page could blow up, and I could make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and whatever it is that's being advertised to producers. And I'm not saying that there aren't people making this amount of money, but it just started making the music lose its meaning to me and its soul. And that's not what I wanted out of this, right? And a big reason why this channel and this journey has had a better impact on me than just going about trying to sell beats to you guys, or tell you, hey, click in the description to my BeatStars. I don't even have my BeatStars right now. I mean, I think it's still up, but I don't advertise it or haven't posted anything there in a really long time. Because this channel, the way that I've created and approached it this time around, is that I want to talk about the things that have meaning to me. Like these samplers, they mean a lot to my process. They mean a lot to my music. And I'm able to also see that you guys are giving me feedback, that I'm adding value to you guys. So that in and of itself is like fuel for me to keep creating. It's inspiration. And it's like, I'm getting ideas now. I'm like, okay, I could answer this question. I could give this back to the community. And it feels like I'm actually like, giving back instead of asking for things. It feels like I'm not just trying to get you guys to buy my beats. I'm actually like getting like people saying thank you, being grateful for what I'm doing. And that fills me more and fulfills me more than just trying to like blow up a type beat channel. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I don't go about it that way, but it could be successful for you. And finally, just to drive the point home on how a type beat channel or a YouTube channel and selling beats on YouTube could really be helpful to you, is a conversation that I had like around August or sometime this summer or early fall with little TJ. So as you guys know from my story time, I worked with TJ like probably in around 2017, around there, when his first album came out. He was a up and coming rapper from the Bronx. I didn't know who he was yet. Even on my session, like I was engineering for the studio, for the Penthouse recording studio, and I got called in for a session like I normally would. And I was just prepared. I was prepared to record whoever the artist was. And, I had a bunch of sessions with this artist, with Little TJ. I really liked his style. I was like, okay, I'm locked in. I kind of got what he was going for, and I was prepared. So that's my other point. If you're prepared, you don't have to get ready, right? So if you're prepared, if you got a bunch of beats, whenever you get that opportunity and you're in the right place at the right time, because you're getting your foot in the door, you're having these conversations with engineers, with managers, A&Rs, and you got a stash of beats and you're prepared for when they ask you if you have beats or if they need beats, then you don't have to get ready. So now is the time that if you're thinking about this, you have to get ready. You have to be ready for the opportunity. So luck, and again, these are all things that I've heard throughout my career or my journey, is that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So if you're prepared for the opportunity, you got hundreds of beats, because these artists will go through hundreds of beats in one sitting. I'm telling you right now, if you got 2 to 3 beats, you're not prepared, you're not ready yet. So it's time for you to keep educating yourself, keep practicing, keep getting better at your craft, so that you can have a crazy stash of beats for whenever the opportunity presents itself. But anyways, after many years of working with little TJ, I asked him myself. I was like, hey, yo, it's been a minute, whatever. We caught up, and I'm like, how do you get your beats, bro? Like, you locked in with a producer? What do you do? He was straight up with me. He's like, bro, I tell every producer, I just go on YouTube. I look at the pictures. If that shit is lit or if the beat catches my attention in the first 5-10 seconds, I'm rocking with that beat. And he's like, I've even told producers that want to send me beats to upload them on YouTube. And if I like, the vibe that the picture's giving me and the image or whatever, it has like a looping image, that's how he gets all his beats. And I was in that session with him probably, so this was like 2023. I had like 5 years that I hadn't seen him, or even 6. And he's still working the same way. That's how he's gotten like a lot of his beats. And then he obviously reaches out to the producer, his label, whatever. They cut the deal. But he's looking right, like he goes to the studio, catches the vibe, goes on YouTube. And that's how so basically it's like luck of the draw for the producer that gets picked, or he might even type in Little TJ type beat like Cole did. Or he might type in any artist that he's into at the moment type beat, because he's trying to change his style up. So that's another thing. You gotta kind of like study these artists that you're trying to get placements with, if that's what you're chasing. So that's another angle. There's the type beat channel. You're gonna blow up your beat stars. Then there's industry placements, which I'm telling you how to do right now. And then the final one, or the third one, is like locking in with the artist, right? From the beginning. So you have those 3 strategies. And the placement strategies, there's been talked about a lot on Producer Grind, but I'm just telling you guys, a personal story that I had, a conversation with an artist that, I was able to get my first platinum record with as an engineer, just asking him straight up how he gets beats. And I think that should answer the question on how to go about selling beats. And just be into it, what is this artist like? What other artists do they like? Because maybe your type beat channel might not be just for that one artist name. It might be like, oh damn, I seen that this artist posted on his story a song by this new artist that's blowing up right now. So now you got to go to that newer artist and try to make beats like that, and then put that on your page, and then even try to contact people. You know, this has been talked about before, so I don't want to like hit the same advice that other people have given before. I'm just speaking from a personal opinion, from my heart and from my experience on how you could go about it. I hope this answers your question, Will. And if you guys have any other questions, like, keep putting them in the comments, because I think from now on too, as the channel continues to grow, the way that I'm going to make these story time videos is that I'm going to start answering some of the questions that you guys have directly. So keep on the lookout for that. I know somebody answered on my community page. Y'all want to see how I mixed a song that recently came out by Milwaukee artist Maya P and Atlanta artist MG Sleepy. I mixed it in Ableton, and I have the session. I'm just trying to get a little set up with my interface so I could record that for you guys. So I got a lot of dope content coming in. Man, keep subscribing, keep showing love, and I'm gonna be out. It's your boy Free Play. Peace.